thoughts of you were sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to. But I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. Babe, I wanna know, is it heartfelt to maybe just a little? Cause you don't really see me like you used to. But you hold on to me, cause all you do is settle. I've heard you've been here before. Stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusted to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. But I don't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. If I stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to. But I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
I like how you do that.
Wow.
Every time, because the only thing they hear is no when it starts, because the audio doesn't turn into you until it's fading out.
That's funny. Oh, our dinner's done.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Hello. Oh, that's
It
my
can sit
drink.
there for a second.
Oh, hi-oh.
Oh boy. All right. Welcome to a Thursday. We have stuff to go through and things we're going to talk about. But first, there's some events coming up and some events we went through and did. So make sure to check out our patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter. That's Sarah with an H.
Ooh.
Don't use the ampersand.
No.
Please spell out the word and.
Fine.
Patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter. It's like $3
Oh, okay.
a month.
10p a day.
We're working on some stuff. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, steal that. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do some stuff. Get through the sponsors here. Lever Consulting. Go to leverconsulting.com for a complimentary introductory consultation. Just tell them that Sarah and Scooter, that's Sarah with an H, and Scooter, sent you over there.
Yes. And then also Yaya's Embroidery on Instagram. She made these lovely hats and my shirt again because I had a work shirt on. And
there it is.
And if you mention Sarah and Scooter, she'll give you 10% off your whole order.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
10% off your whole order.
Whole order.
Yeah, we'll be getting soon. We'll be ordering some shirts from them.
Ooh.
Speaking of that, we're gonna get right into that. We're gonna do our festival fit check.
All right.
Festival fit challenge check.
Yeah.
I will just do that.
Okay.
So let me pull it up. Let me pull up.
I did not do well.
I didn't either. But we're gonna just talk about our leaderboard, and we're gonna talk about I don't know if anybody's in there, but you know, it's fine.
I'd like to know.
Yeah. I gotta pull it up first. What a fool. Wasn't ready.
Yeah, so I have been working on my water intake and kind of on my steps. It's hard to work out when you're not home. I shouldn't say that because I used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm finding it hard to be motivated when there's so much to do. That's my issue. And after like flying and then working all day and then driving your hotel, I don't know if you guys know this, but the last thing I want to do is work out.
True. I think that's I'm one of those. I'm coming to this thing on my Whoop thing because they have recovery percentages, and I feel like if it's and today was pushing it.
Low?
Yeah, it was low because I went to bed late. I went down a podcast like
Another
rabbit
one?
hole. No, this was last night. I talked about today.
I think you said that the day before also.
No, it was today.
I think you've had 2 days of rabbit holes.
I don't think so. One, I went to bed. I was kind of late, but last night was like 5.
Because first day I said you could start watching Here to Help Without Me. And they're like,
I didn't.
But then that's the day you said, oh, I went down a rabbit hole. And then you said it again today. That's why I thought you had 2 rabbit hole days.
And I didn't watch Here to Help again. So what was I talking about?
Sorry. Whoop recovery.
Okay, Whoop recovery. So Whoop recovery, I've made it. It's kind of like you wake up and you're tired, right? Then do it tired.
Right.
I'm looking at. I've made a thing in my brain. It was like if it's over 40%, which is still low.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think that's where the yellow is.
Yeah.
Wherever yellow is. I don't know where red is.
Yellow's like in the 20s.
Yeah, I was under 30 or something, but I was like anything over 40% of recovery. Do the work.
Yeah.
And today was 41. And I was like, all right, I'm doing the work. But that's been my commitment to myself is like I'm still gonna do it. And I've been doing for this last week, I'm doing 2 days on, 1 day off of muscle exercise.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into that. Not even calisthenics. It's muscle work.
Isn't calisthenics just body weight? Or you're not doing body weight.
I'm doing body weight too.
Oh.
Calisthenics is like jumping jacks and.
Is it?
I thought so.
I thought calisthenics was just body weight.
I have no idea. But we'll get into that here in a second of what we're doing. But I want to talk about the leaderboards.
Yeah.
Okay. And if anybody gets in there, we'll talk about the leaderboards a couple times throughout, so that when people filter through and chat. So leaderboard. Here's the cool part: is everybody gave me their numbers, and these numbers are from between 628 and 74. Okay, so we're 6 days in.
Yeah.
You know, was it 6 days in? Yeah, you have one more day for this week, and then you'll get the leaderboard for that one. Because I kind of want it to be elusive, like catch up, right?
Yeah.
Give you some time so you don't know exactly where you
I have
are.
to do 17 hours of exercising tomorrow.
Yeah, but what we want to look at is the leaderboard. So for that week, there was 252 points possible.
Yeah.
So that's a big
pool.
That's a big pool of numbers to have.
Yeah.
The cool part is, I mean, 2 people didn't give me their numbers.
Yeah.
So they're out. they're out. But everybody that did, so there were 6 people in there. I'm not going to go down anybody's names, just the top 2.
Yeah.
But out of the current possible of 252 points, the top 2, second place right now is Sarah.
What?
You are in second.
How did I do that?
place. I'm doing the calculations.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm shocked.
And in first place is Ariel.
Nice.
The cool part is there's 252 points available. The difference between you two is only 8 points.
Dang.
With 252 points available.
So I really do have to do cardio
Okay.
tomorrow.
So, but let's look at it this way. The difference between first place and last place with 252 points possible is only 34 points.
Oh, nice. Easily make it
So
up.
I was like,
Someone could have a bad week and someone could have a good week.
yes, one person just forgets to do water or goes traveling or you will have that. So first place right now is Ariel. You are in second place, but you're only 8 points behind. And I'm not going to tell you how many points you have.
That's fine.
That's not how I don't want it to work that way. That way you're not like counting numbers and stuff like that. But I do know that there's only 8 points between the two of you and only 34 points between first place and last place.
Dang.
And that's anybody that gave me numbers. If you didn't give me numbers, you get 0.
So after this, what I'm hearing is I'm rowing 30 minutes.
Okay. All I'm saying is,
heart rate up.
and I think what I want to clarify is that cardio is not like the full, we're not running a marathon.
Yeah.
We're not on a treadmill. We're just doing more than we were doing before.
Yeah.
Right. Raise your beats per minute up 20 beats per minute for like 10 minutes.
Go into zone 1.
Yeah. Whatever the zones are.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So just be encouraged. We will talk about this, the leaderboards,
Exciting.
as we go. And I'm coming up with, I say we, but I'm coming up. You never have input on prizes and yeah. So I'm like, and shirt designs and no. So, I just wanted to put those out there. We will mention this again a little later. If we get any more people in the chat,
cool.
We will discuss it.
Not really. Good thing.
All right.
So I have 3, but I feel like you have one of them.
I have 0 on my paper.
Okay.
I was so behind.
Well, I'll say my first one, then it'll prompt you to say my second one. Let's go. So the first one is we were in Madeira and I got to meet baby Emerson. It is my friend's adopted little baby. She's only like 2 months, even 2 months yet. I think she might be 2 months old. Month and a half, 2 months. She's little. She's so little. And she's so cute. And I was telling Christina that I'm like, you're just gonna be the best mom. And she's so calm. I was like, you're lucky because you're an older mom. So I feel like there's like a calmness that you get as you get older because you're like,
true.
Life's not that big a deal. When you have a kid and you're 18, everything's a big deal. And you're like, I'm failing everything. Nothing's working.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make it.
This is different. Yeah, it's true.
Right now, if I had a baby, I'd cry. But I feel like we'd be so chill. I mean, I would.
I don't know. I think our kid would raise itself. Oh, totally. I mean, with us, we're like, that's fine.
You know you?
We'd be kind of like, that's fine. I was like, because if we had a kid now, it'd be an only child.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Let's all touch wood. Let's all.
I'm just saying
everyone touch something wood.
Just saying it would be an only child.
There's a horrible statistic about people are more likely to get pregnant in their 40s without trying. Terrible statistic.
I mean,
don't like it.
Yeah, but we have things working against us.
Even with things working against them.
No, like we have things working against us on both sides.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
It's terrible. Anyways. Yeah, so I got to meet baby Emerson and hang out with Christina and Valerie and John at the baby shower. It's a baby shower. It was already born,
it was
but it's a baby shower.
Yeah, it's a baby shower.
Yeah. We showered the baby with love.
I guess.
So that was nice.
I guess that's what that is.
Did that get you thing number 2?
Well, of course. I was like, I got to hang out with John again. I got to hang out with Jerry. Got to hang out with you.
Oh.
So it was me, you, Valerie, John, Jerry, Janie, not so much this time. She wasn't there as much.
Yeah.
I think she was
Towards
running
the
around.
end.
She was running around doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, she's making all the food.
Yeah.
they were both
Plus the awesome pseudo surprise graduation party for for Naomi, which is Jerry's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's 18 now.
Nope.
Almost.
The
October.
fall. Yeah.
Yeah. But she graduated, so there was a shindig for her.
Yes.
And another good thing, she got a flippin' Dean guitar flying V. So cool. I was so excited when we talked about it. I was like, you gotta tell me. Jerry got it for her grandfather, and I was like, you gotta tell me more about this guitar. It was super cool and a very humbling but cool. Made me feel like I am relevant maybe somewhere. Is from what I understand from I heard it from like 3 different people, that when Naomi got to hang out in the studio kind of by herself and play guitar, she's told her whole family.
I know, she was so excited about it.
But she didn't. She's a very reserved, not loud person.
Yeah.
But I guess she told her whole family. She was so happy, so excited. She just got to have free reign in the studio here with the how many guitars are in here.
Yeah.
And to hear it, and it wasn't even, one person told it to me, but I overheard other people telling each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So this was a real thing. It wasn't just like, they didn't, what they call? Exaggerate it.
Yeah.
They were telling other people. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It's adorable.
So, yeah.
My last thing, we finished our last fundraiser. I have finished my duties as the fundraising director of the Intercom High School Music Booster. And I say, farewell, sirs.
You say mic drop.
Mic drop. Here's your cash box. Thank you.
And bye-bye.
And bye-bye. It's been real.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's my last good thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a journey.
There's probably quite a few more other things, but we got to catch up. We're trying to do a little bit more communication on a regular basis with people in general. So we did have our weekly Zoom call, which doesn't happen every week, but with Ryan and Bailey.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Because especially when Sarah's not in here, it's kind of fun. And the reason is because Sarah is still working. So she doesn't feel like she's not working. Does that make sense? Well, because it's a Wednesday night and you always work late on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you're working and in a Zoom call, you feel better. Right. Yeah. But if you're down here in the studio, you're like, I'm not working.
Oh my God,
I could be working.
So
So it was one of those things. So we kind of had a best of all the worlds, So that was really nice to catch up with them, with what's going on. Talked about, some Warped Tour stuff and those struggles. But it's so cool to have starting to have a really good friendship relationship with my daughters, both of them individually, even though, and that was kind of a big subject that I have come to years ago was when they were young, it's me and my girls. When you get older with them, it's like, oh, it's me and Ariel and then me and Bailey. Sometimes we'll do stuff as a group, but it's not that often because they're just 2 completely different people. So yeah, that was really nice.
So there's this isn't a good thing, it's just a thought. There's wildfires happening in California because that's where we are.
Yeah,
everything's always on fire.
100 and some degrees today.
Yeah, but there's one in Slow. So I started following it, just for,
because that's where Mariah is going to school and staying.
And so there's an app, but the app just keeps giving me notifications of all the fires in the whole state.
Yeah, that's what it does.
And I'm like, it's too much.
No, what's
the anxiety?
Which one do you use?
It's called.
Because I used something a while ago.
Oh, where'd it go? Mine's called.
Yeah,
something fire.
But it's a real thing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not called
Watch
fire.
Duty.
Yeah, Watch Duty.
Yeah,
that is the one. That's the one that is updated quite regularly and really good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very.
But that's the issue. It's like, okay, we're now in evacuation and it means to leave, and I'm like, wait, leave? Which fire?
Stupid.
It's too much information. I mean, I'm worried about everybody.
But yeah, that's not.
All right.
That's a good thing that it's
you wanna
not
rant it up?
affecting. You know,
Yeah. Not me.
not affecting us.
Yes.
But and I don't think it's. I think it's manageable right now.
The Madre one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
big.
like not like no casualties kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
Rant of the week. Okay.
I was muted.
Yeah, you were. Probably said something a little shady.
I did not.
Get us canceled.
That wasn't shady. That was true. That is concerning.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know which part. Like, is your rail safe? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I was talking about the floods. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
I was trying to lean into the joke because
Oh.
nobody heard what you said, so it could have been. But
Good,
you know,
nice.
peace, babe.
All right, here's
The
my.
yes and in you is
It's not there.
no.
Here's my rant this week. I have been trying really hard on this drink your whole half your body weight in ounces. It is so much water
It's insane.
that I never have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And I had to go 4 times yesterday. I think that's why even though they said I had good on my sleep, like hit the things, like the good things. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm pissed off because I had to get up 4 times to pee. I had to stop at a gas station today to pee because I had to pee so bad. And I was like, for some reason in the Bay Area off the freeway, there's nothing there. It's just like
No.
building walls. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you find something off the freeway
No, you don't.
to use?
No, you don't.
It was very frustrating. I was like, Starbucks, Costco, something, gas station. Even the gas station went through was in a neighborhood. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why are there no gas stations off your freeways?
Oh, but there's apps that tell you where the gas station.
I know there are, but I wanted it to
One's
I
called
wanted to
Maps.
just see it. You know what? Where's his face?
Not everything can be I-5 and 99. Okay.
I'm not saying it needs to be those. I'm just saying it would be nice to be able to see something off the freeway so you know where to
It's
stop.
not though. There's so many hills and valleys and stuff out there. It's like you can't, even if it was right off the freeway, you can't see it.
Your dad could never go there.
No.
He'll let you find a gas station or a hotel.
No.
He'd be screwed.
No.
Like even right now, I gotta go tinkle. And I just tinkled before this started. I hate this hydration.
Okay.
Somebody said that the more you do it, the more your body adjusts
It's not that, yes, it adjusts because it starts using the water that
for good.
because you're supposed to be using the water.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of in shock going, what is all this
Why is
water?
all this water in me?
Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to get it. What is this? And then after a while, it starts like your skin starts absorbing it. Your digestive system starts
just stick with it.
absorbing it.
Yeah.
Your organs actually function better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't get to that point. I was like, I can't get up. Like I tried to drink more water yesterday than I had normally. And it was just like one more of these, right?
Yeah.
The times I had to get up and go pee was double.
It's out of
And I was
control.
like, I already get up like once a night.
Yeah.
And now it was like 3 or 4.
It's out of
And I'm
control.
like, what? And it wasn't like I had to get up and it was like a fake false alarm.
Right.
I had to
Yes.
pee.
My poor bladder's like, oh no, we go through the
Distress
bathroom's
mode.
closed.
I had a dream about peeing the other day.
I
a
haven't reached that
full-on
one yet,
dream.
thank God, because I feel like at that point you've tinkled.
Yeah, you're gonna pee the bed, man. So yeah,
That's my rant. Hydration. Who needs it? I'm just kidding.
it's so hard. There's people that we've talked to recently because we're trying to do this Festival Fit challenge. There's people talking about recently. It's like some people don't drink any water throughout the day. That's normal. I mean, we've known people that drink, I think it was Coke or Pepsi, like, and that's all they drank was that and maybe some tea or something like, but that never drank just water. And I was like, that's pretty normal, I think, for a lot of people. Me, I can't do it. I have to drink water throughout the night when I get up. Because I'll wake up kind of needing some. I can feel it. And then first thing in the morning, I try and guzzle about 16 ounces. And I think that's what, and I learned that years ago. If your first cup of something is at least 12 ounces of like room temperature water, you wake up better. You wake up more efficiently, so your body doesn't just shut down. So I've done that for years now, and it actually does help. But still the trying to do. I mean, I'm consistently right now 226 to 229 pounds. Sometimes I go under, but my normal is actually 226, 227. It hasn't even gone up to 229 lately.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And I think I found out what my eating regimen needs to be. Like right now I'm hungry.
Me
And
too.
we should be eating instead of
Yeah.
this. But I'm finding out what calorie intake for what I do makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's helping me kind of manage those things. And I'm also trying to back off on the high ABV beers and what is it? Like IPAs and stuff like that. Just that's kind of a treat now instead of a normal. Trying to do more like these. This is a seltzer.
Truly?
It's a truly. This one's pretty good. I found out that like these fruit punchy tropical things not my favorite. They're too juicy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Too sweet?
well, juicy.
Is that what I said?
Just because it's juicy doesn't mean it's sweet.
Are you still on my rant or do you have a rant? I have one more rant I want to talk about.
What would be my rant? Go ahead. Because I didn't think of one.
So
Let's talk
I don't
about
know
water.
if you guys know this, but most Black people don't wear sunblock. Because the whole point of the color of this skin is that we don't flip and have to.
Well, it's also if you wear, is it true that if you wear sunblock, you don't get as much D?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's pretty common for Black people to have like a vitamin D deficiency.
Yes.
Because they need more sun than us white people. It's just science.
We need the sun because this is repelling of the sun.
Yeah.
But for some reason, since I moved to this god awful town,
Yeah, the sun is different.
I get sunburn on my face, mostly my lips and also my mustache area here.
Goatee. That's more about
my goatee area. When I go out into the sun too long, and I've even put on sunblock, and I still get sunburn, and it's so upsetting. I even bought chapstick with sunscreen in it. Still, my poor lips are like sandpaper. They're so much better right now, but now they're just dry. But it's so annoying.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm upset.
I'm just wondering, like, everywhere else is fine, but just not your goatee area.
I know. It's annoying. Anyways,
Wonder what
and
that
we're
is.
about to go to a festival, and I'm like, I'm buying
a face mask.
I don't know. I even had a hat on last time. Didn't even help. But I am buying my Black Girl sunscreen and Black Girl sunscreen lip gloss.
You show up like Bane.
Basically, I'm just gonna get one of the big hats with the thing in the front, like the fabric in the front.
I just think
They're like, "What's happening?" She doesn't do sun.
I don't want more goatee.
Ooh, Keith said greetings from GSR in Reno.
Yeah, saw that.
Lucky.
He's doing
We haven't been in Reno in a long time.
Yeah, he's doing some comic thing.
Ooh,
You know,
that's fun.
he's a comic guy.
He's a comic
He's a-
guy.
He makes comics.
Okay.
So it is that time of the year also that we talk about being festival fit, but it's also convention time. It's anime time. It's comic books. It's all those things are in full swing.
Yeah.
They take it seems like they take a little bit of a hiatus at the beginning of the year, first couple months of the year. I mean, they're still there, but it's a little bit few and far between. But it starts to ramp up now and goes through the end of the year.
Yeah.
From here forward, there's some sort of convention, festival, anime, this or whatever from here on out. So
It's fun.
it gets fun.
It gets silly.
And that's what we're talking about, the festival fit.
Yeah.
We just do more of those.
Did you think of a rant? You want to move on?
I don't think I really have, besides the water intake and me not being able to I think it's more rant about myself being like lame and not liking to stretch.
You got stretch.
And yeah.
I stretch in the elevator.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
sure
seen
people
it.
think it's weird.
No, it is weird.
But I mean, why not? What else have you been doing?
Being normal.
Why is it not normal to stretch?
Because it looks weird.
I had a beer in my hand. I stretched. I just kept it level.
That sounds like a challenge.
It was. Succeeded.
No, I think that's there's not much. I think my biggest thing is we've come across some people in our lives that I think we were discussing that last night too. Was I think one of my ongoing rants in life is people in your life not understanding the difference between a reason and an excuse.
Yeah.
And I think that's always going to be my driving like frustration with a person.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple, some of them are kids, some of them are relatives, some of them are just friends. You're just kind of like, and it's less of a rant and more of like, that's on you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to live your life making excuses, okay. And I do that too. I think we all do.
Yeah.
But I think it becomes one of those things. If you're always making that an excuse, then that's just who you are.
Yes.
And that's kind of my rant. It was like, come to terms with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like bad things aren't happening to you. You're creating bad things.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, bad things happen to everyone.
Yeah.
Some more than others and all this stuff. And life doesn't treat everybody the same. That's a bunch of crap. That's a white thing to say.
Stupidest thing ever. Life does not treat everybody the same.
Yeah. That's a privileged person saying. But it is one of those things is how you react to it is completely up to you.
Yeah. That's for sure.
And if it's a true reason. You know, it's like if you're not traveling right now and not going and visiting a lot of people because you have 2 children, like young children in the house, that's a reason.
Yeah.
That's not an
Legit.
excuse.
Yeah.
Some people can and some people can do it.
Yeah.
Like some people can take those kids and they'll be fine. But I was like, but some people can't because it's just different wherever you are emotionally, spiritually, financially, logistically, like where do you live?
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. It is what it is. I hate that saying. But it's true because of course it is what it is. You're just saying it twice. So dumb. But it is. It's a situation that you are not capable of doing. So that's a total reason.
Yeah.
But I feel like if your kids are now 12 and 15 and you're still, I got kids at home. I was like, how often realistically, once your kids are like 12, 15, and then they go 15, 17, I was like,
they don't care about you.
If you left the house for like 2 days, they might not even know you're gone. Sometimes when they're doing stuff like they're part of this and they have friends and they do their thing, they might not even know you're gone.
Yeah.
Because they'll text you for permission to go somewhere and then go.
Yes.
And they didn't even see you.
Yeah.
There are some times. So
they've arrived.
Yeah. So
Instacart.
Oh.
They just said they have arrived.
Well, is it my turn?
You said you were gonna go get it.
Oh yeah. Okay, your turn then.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about what's up. We're gonna talk about this because I'm very sad about it.
Yeah, she is.
So I don't know how many times I've said this, but there's a podcast by Trevor Noah. Because he's like one of my favorite people to just listen to. And he has like the best people on his show, and he's funny and quippy and anything, whatever. But tomorrow he's gonna be in Lincoln. And he's doing his stand-up special. And I want to go real bad. But the way life is that the car needs stuff. And we're going to Warped Tour in 2 weeks. And we might be going down to LA to be supported from Mariah and her friends. Like, there's all these things that just keeps telling me, Sarah, you can't go. We want you to go. And unless somebody posts their tickets for like $25 a piece, you're not going. Let's just be real. We're not going, and you're going to have to be okay with it. But if anyone else is in the Sacramento area, they want to go see Trevor Noah, it's at the casino, and I think it's going to be really good. I heard a part of his special today, and I was so sad. So there's that. Number 2, oddly enough, because I feel like Shaq's going to become the owner of Sacramento at one point, he's DJing in Sacramento on Saturday. I don't know where because I didn't look deep enough into it. I just saw DJ Diesel and I saw Shaq's big old body, and I thought, that could be fun. I don't know. I don't know if Shaq's a good DJ or not, but he's going to be in Sacramento on the 12th, DJing in Sacramento somewhere. So, look it up. And the last thing, there was a movie, and I can't even think of what the name of the movie is. I bet you if Becca was here, she'd know. But there's a part in the movie that literally just says banana way. It's probably not what they say, but it's what it sounds like they say. Banana way, banana way, banana. And they do capoeira. So there's like a Brazilian capoeira class in Oak Park on Saturday. And so the way I describe it to Scooter is basically like dance fighting is what it looks like. It looks like they're like dancing, but they're also fighting.
I think that's where crumping came from.
No,
that's the original, what you're talking about. But crumping probably came.
You think? Dance fighting? I was thinking more. I know. I was thinking more like to me, crumping looks more like African dancing.
What?
Crumping. Or like what's the other one? Like Samoan.
No, I just feel like the art form of but the art form of like break dancing, competitive dancing, where it became like a thing, and like crumping in the club, like you weren't fighting, you were just dance fighting.
Yeah.
I feel like that I don't think that would exist without that type of thing.
I don't know, honestly. But there's a capoeira dance class. It's capoeira Brazilian class this weekend. And I thought, it's like my childhood right there.
What?
I probably watched that movie like 75 times.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the name of it because I am terrible with names. It's like Only the Strong or something. I don't know. Anyways, go do that in Sacramento if you want to. Otherwise, that's all I got for What's Up in Your Area. Those are the 3 things that I found. I know. Are you going to go see DJ Diesel? I'll pour it.
Well, I mean, I don't have ask me a question.
You could do both. Just yell.
No. You have to move it. Move it. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna see Diesel.
Aw.
Not that I wouldn't enjoy it. It's just one of those things of my capacity needs to be restarted in a sense, because we went to
I need a weekend to not do nothing.
right here. We went to Summer of Loud.
Yeah.
If you can see that behind us. We went to Summer of Loud. We've had 2 weekends in a row that we, had shindigs.
Yeah.
Had parties, literal parties.
Yeah, I need to not do something kind of weekend.
Yeah, which includes like a lot of driving.
Yeah.
One of them was a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but it was like
2.5 hours.
2.5 to 3 hours each way. So it just takes a lot of time out of your productivity.
Yeah. I need a home day. I need a home
weekend. Stay close to home.
Yeah. I want to be home.
Weekend.
I just want to be home. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So
you were home for a long time.
I
straight.
know.
So, and then you just went for 4 days, and now you're like, oh.
Well, because I haven't had a weekend.
We bounced. Yeah, you haven't had a weekend to catch up.
Yeah, because the last
that does make sense.
week has been psychotic. That's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So the shots arrived because we DoorDashed them or Instacarted them. Slancheva.
Salut.
All
right. Want to shout outs?
Let's do it.
Shout out! Woo! All right. So it's a travel one. Shocking.
It's what?
Travel one. I already told this to Scooter, but we're on the plane going to Ontario. There's only 48 people on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Super empty.
So I know this story. This is good.
I head towards the back because I know what they're gonna say. Please spread out. We have to spread out. Blah blah. You get your own, row. And there's only 48 people. It's not gonna take us very long to get off the aircraft. I can sit in the very back, and it's gonna be just as quick as if I sat in the middle. Anyways, so the flight attendant said, "I need additional people to sit behind the blue line," which was the blue line, sit behind it. And so she told this guy, "Can you please come back? I need more people back here." And the guy made a face like she had just punched him and like kicked him in the nads or something. And she
anybody, if you're a listener, do you have teenagers? When you ask them to take out the trash or you ask them,
how your day?
Yeah. How certain Moses, like, how was your day? Or
especially if they're like 13, 14.
Yeah. How's your homework? If you ask them any questions, they're like, ugh.
Are you talking to me? So the thing that she said was, man, you must have she said, did that upset you? And he said, yes. And she's like, you must have a really hard life. And so he sat down, huffed and puffed, sat down. And so she did the same thing. Oops, I touched it. She said, hey guys, look, it's so fun. She said, hey guys, I need some more people, like 7 or 8 people to sit behind the line. And so some people would just sat down. And she's like, seriously? And so she's like, seriously.
Well, I mean, and it's one of those things is like, we're going to wait.
Right.
You're going to be delayed.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to whine and cry.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be late to wherever you're going.
Yes.
Because you won't just move.
Yes. And so then there was a guy who wanted to put all of his stuff up. And she said, federal regulation says you put one up, one down. And the guy's like, well, I've been on flights before where they let me put both up. And she said, federal regulation says you put one up, one down. It doesn't matter how many people are on the plane. And so my shout out is to her because it was 5 o'clock in the morning and she was just like, already, she was like, what is wrong with you people? And she said it multiple times, you guys must have a really hard life if this is like what's upsetting you. And I was like, no kidding.
And it's not like they're on a cruise ship.
Right.
They're on Southwest.
Yes.
And they're flying where?
Ontario.
Yeah. So it's like, you are not that, you're obviously middle class or lower.
Right.
You're
Or
not even
working for business.
But that's what I mean. It was like, you're still working class.
Mm-hmm.
None of you
Unless you have a
own
jet.
none of you own a Fortune 500 company.
Right.
None of you are that important to where, hey, I
We're
want to put my
so
bags up there. It's
Yeah.
like, cool. Thank you. Mr. Pitt.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was living my best life. I was like row 23, sit in the middle.
and plus it's like, I don't know. It's when there's only a third, it was a third full. Not even that.
Not even that.
No, it was about a third full. 60.
48 people.
Oh, okay. Wasn't even a third. Because it's 175. Is
Yeah.
that what normal? So it wasn't even a third full.
Right.
So it was like, we're going to sit here and wait till you guys move.
Right. That's all.
Or I'm getting off the plane because you guys are going to all die.
Right. Just get
That's
up and
it's just
move.
that simple. It's like, the plane's going to flip.
Yeah. And then on the way to San Francisco, there was a lady sitting next to me who had a little dog, which is adorable. But I feel like I was a crazy person because I swear the lady sat down, took a lid off a container, and started eating a whole container of avocado.
Mm.
And not like guacamole. I'm talking about like slices of avocado.
like
And
you.
I thought,
That sounds
no.
like you.
Even I was like, too far.
Really?
Too far. It needs some chips. It needs some hot sauce. It needs some. It was just sliced avocado. And I thought,
Hey, maybe she's,
is that right?
what do they call it? The fatties? Not
Oh, the
her.
good.
Not her.
The good fats.
I just called her a fatty.
She was super thin, so
No,
she
I
doesn't
was
want to be
just like,
fatty.
that was funny. But that's not what I meant. What I meant was needed the, what do they call them?
Fatty- the good
Fatty
fats,
acids,
yeah.
fatty, whatever.
Whatever
it
the
is.
good fats are.
Good fats.
Yeah, good fats. Anyways, that was my shout out to the flight attendant who was just like, you guys are idiots. And I was like, yes. Man, I am
Yeah.
also tired. It is very early. But I like you.
All right.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And I felt bad because I was like, can I get a cup of tea? But can you put some ice cubes in it so I can actually drink it? Because normally they give you tea and it's like fire. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
So I asked her to put ice cube in it. And she looked at me like, what is wrong with you? And I thought, I'm sorry.
I mean,
How do I
but
drink
I feel
this?
like, I feel like she didn't have that precursor
Yeah,
to the
she probably wouldn't be
conversation.
so annoyed.
Wouldn't have been that big a deal. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But she's going, is everybody on
I
here
know.
privileged?
I
Is
felt,
everyone on here?
I know.
Did they go to privilege school?
I just wanted to be able to drink it before because it's
No,
a
I
up
get
and
it.
down. It's 52 minutes. So by the time they ask you for what you want
Or
and
you
then
just
give
say
you
a
your
cup
drink,
of ice. Maybe she wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But instead of putting it in, just have a cup of ice.
I said and some ice. So I mean,
Oh.
but she did put it in. But I felt so bad. I just like have a cup of tea and some ice, a couple ice cubes. And she's like, I said because it's too hot to drink. And she said, what? I said, a cup of tea and some ice because it's too hot to drink. And she said,
Like, why didn't you just have iced tea then?
I don't want iced tea. I don't want
That's
it
my
cold.
point.
I just didn't want it super hot.
So you are one of those people.
I'm not.
I don't want to sit in the front, but close to the front.
If it was a 2-hour flight, I wouldn't ask for ice. I'd be like, it's gonna cool down eventually, and I'll drink it.
Mm.
But in 52 minutes, I really only have. It's like by the time they hit 15 minutes, they're
no,
like,
when they're
we're
packing up
done.
the garbage, you got to slam
Yeah,
it.
they're like, you can't keep anything with you. It's
Yeah.
going away. And I was like, I don't want to be that person.
Well,
But
you,
I also
you
want some
already
tea.
you were that person on the front end.
I know.
Not the back end.
I know. I felt bad. I said, I'm
No,
sorry.
I mean, you don't feel bad. It was like,
I did.
but it's also, I don't think she would have had
Yeah.
looked at you that way if,
Yeah.
you know, because it sets a tone.
Yes.
And it sets a tone that it sets an emotion in us that we don't even understand.
Yeah.
I think there's so many emotions and so many senses that we don't really understand about humans still to this day. So I just feel like other people can affect your mood.
Yes.
And
Easily.
some people affect other people's moods more.
Yeah.
Depending on where they're at. So
all right, my last cute thing. So I'm standing in line at some point to get on a plane, and someone's eating the little Teddy Grahams. And so they only give the Teddy Grahams in the morning. And so I thought, you just on a flight this morning? Or was this like yesterday? Because they only give you the Teddy Grahams in the morning.
I thought there was a 5 a.m. flight.
So this was a different one.
You're ping ponging. What?
This was my San Francisco flight.
Okay. We didn't know that.
I know.
Nobody knew.
That's why I'm saying it now.
Okay.
Saying it backwards.
So
my San Francisco flight, I saw someone standing in line eating their Teddy Grahams. And I thought, did you have a flight this morning? Because I had Teddy Grahams yesterday and I saved them.
You know what's great?
Eat them as my snack.
What I've found out in life with you is you're a great short storyteller.
Yeah.
You can't, if it's more than 35 to 45 seconds, she's probably talking about something else.
Yeah. I've moved on.
But we don't know. Sometimes it lasts like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. but you don't know. So pay attention, because she could be talking about a whole different car, whole different person, a whole different.
Was it Ariel or Lucy that said that when we were there? One of them said the same thing. They're like, yeah, sometimes I try to follow Sarah's stories in the podcast, and I think, what's she talking about?
I think that was Ariel, because she's a more like, I have to finish this story beginning to end. Right, she's a beginning to end story person.
I'm sorry, it's how my brain works.
No, it doesn't
pop out.
No, yeah. I was like, where are we at now? I was like, I switched. We're talking about somebody else. I'm like, okay, who? I was like, I'll get to that. I'm like, but then I have nothing to.
Story.
It's not like this grand reveal. I mean, you're not M. Night Shyamalan.
You don't
know. You're not.
You don't know.
You're not.
You don't know that.
You're probably better than him these days.
I am.
He's been so bad for a long time.
Did you just make one? Anyways, what's your shout out?
I don't know. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I had one. I couldn't think
Why
about
didn't you write it down?
Oh, I was listening and having a conversation with you. Two of them. One's a small one. I mean, not small one, but probably short. Malia, I think, is like, she came over the other day. She's kind of like another daughter of ours in a sense. She's been around since she was like, gosh, 8.
Yeah.
She's, and she's what, 20?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's been around. I mean, she's been in the rotation of humans, and it's a small group, right?
Yeah.
And she came over the other day. And it was kind of like, I kind of felt bad because I did have a phone call or a Zoom call to do at 8:30. She came over about 8, and I was like, I feel like she wanted to talk more, and I wanted to talk more too. I did. I really wanted to talk more to her about stuff and just life and, moving and, work and just life stuff, real life stuff.
Yeah.
And I felt bad that it had to cut it short, but I was like, she's becoming such a great person.
Yeah. She's a good human.
Yeah. I was like, she's exactly as responsible as you want a 20-year-old to be.
Yeah.
Right. I feel that's what I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's with Mariah too. Like Mariah, our daughter Mariah is like, she's 19, going on 20.
Yep.
Very soon. And she's on the right track of being 20.
Yeah.
She's not too old for her age, so she's not boring, it's like, and she's not too young for her age, so she's not taking care of things. She's right in the pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
She's a responsible 20.
Yeah. And I feel like
all 3 of them.
All 3 of who?
Momo and Malia.
Yeah, but you didn't say it. You said all 3 of them. You had Malia. We talked
about our other daughters.
Okay. And then Moriah, it's same, but I was like, I haven't really touched base with her much lately. But she's kind of in the pocket. Yeah. So when she came over, I was like, I wanted to really have more of a conversation. We're just hanging out in the kitchen, just in the dining room, and discussing stuff and talking about like actual life things. Like, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Remembered something. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
For what?
Supposed to book something today.
Okay. Booking yeah.
Supposed to book our return tickets because they were on sale.
Oh, well, the day's not over. No, it's not.
You know how they work. They're like
They do.
8 p.m.
No.
I know you're gonna be annoyed, but I'm gonna still try to do it right now.
Okay. So
Sorry.
we're talking about return tickets from, we have one-way tickets to Long Beach to go to Warp Tour. We don't have a return flight
No.
because we didn't want to plan that much.
Yeah.
Because what if there's work to do in Long Beach? That was her thought.
Yes. That was
Which
my thought.
totally does make sense because
Yeah.
she does do work in Long Beach. But Malia's one that I really want to give her a shout out because she just, every time she comes over, she's so humble, so funny.
Yeah.
She's just in the pocket of where I feel a 20-year-old human being that's got her head screwed on as well as it can be at 20.
Yes.
You know, it's not screwed on straight because you're 20,
Exactly.
right? I was like, your head's not screwed on straight your whole life. You just do the best for wherever you're at. So that one. I have a second shout out.
Okay.
Shit's in the fan, man. Like we are like the timing for everything going forward or as of like 2 weeks ago and going forward is just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Right? When it comes to companies, when it comes to things we've already booked, already things we planned, it's like it seems like we're double booked everywhere. But I have to give a shout out to this human across from me that spells her name with an H.
Me?
She's stressed AF. But she still can find not as much time for me, but she still finds some time.
I try.
No, I was like, she still finds the time to check in. And even if we're talking about work, we're talking about something silly, there's been some sort of, not complete paradigm shift, but some sort of your understanding. Because I feel like earlier on, I understood your love language quick. Like, when she's not doing well, she's going to express she's not doing well, and you need to just be there for her. Don't get in her face. Give her some space, but still check in with her. Learned that pretty early. Took you a minute for me.
You have all the love languages.
Yeah, but it's also was like, I just need to be appreciated and check in with me.
Yeah.
But you could be secluded for 20 hours and not say anything to me. And you're like, we're good. And I'm like, well, we're not. Right?
Yeah.
But you're doing so great at that. I was like, so I have to give you a huge shout out. Just the little things like sending me a selfie once in a while when you're traveling. Send me a picture from the balcony of wherever you're staying where it's this beautiful view and stuff like that. Or showing me the hotel room, just a picture of it. I was like, I love it so much. It makes me feel, not that I'm there with you, but at least that I can appreciate what you're appreciating.
Yeah.
Because I love that. I love seeing the sceneries that you get to see. And I don't even get jealous. I would just kind of go, we need to do that together someday. You know, and I feel like those kind of things, you're understanding that I have FOMO, of course, but I'm not, it doesn't make me jealous.
Yeah.
I don't like missing out, but I'm not jealous of you traveling this much. I'm not jealous of those things. I love seeing what you're seeing and seeing your face. Like you're understanding that if I'm just chatting with you and you send me a picture of your face, I was like, that makes me so happy. It's insane. It's insane what it does for me. It just does. It just means like he wants to see my face. I was like, if you think you look like crap, it's irrelevant. No, it just is. So I don't know. Maybe I'm more millennial than you are. And I think that's probably what it is. But even though I'm not millennial at all.
In your heart.
No, I think so.
Yeah.
I think
your
so.
Left butt cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My butt cheek?
Just your left one.
Why my left one? It's always,
Why'd you touch it?
well, because my right one's always one that hurts.
That
Because I have a tendency to lean.
makes it Gen X.
Yeah, because I have this tendency to lean to my right, so my right shoulder and my right like glute gets a little like my hips are out of line because I always do this.
Yeah.
I don't do this. This feels weird. Like my back
I
hurts.
just lean that way too.
You lean. That's
I lean
left.
this way. I
That's
lean
left.
to the left.
Okay, I lean to the right.
But I think it's because my floor is not level.
All I'm saying is that's not the same. I lean that way too. It's like you lean the complete opposite way that I
lean
do.
the way you're leaning right now.
No, we're leaning towards the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both leaning north, I guess.
That's what I meant.
But when I lean left like this, my actual, like, it hurts.
It's probably because you don't stretch.
No, because I lean too much to the right.
And?
Need to not lean so much to the right.
Figure fours.
All I'm saying is...
Pigeon.
Yes,
you do.
Cat dog. Moo
You know
cow.
exactly what I'm saying.
Shavasana. Warrior 1, Warrior 2.
I'm hungry.
Me too. You could have gotten food by now.
You told me to wait.
I did not. But now that I've been talking this whole time, she's going to leave and I still have to talk. Oh. Okay. Let's do entertainment of the week. Entertainment of the week. So there's this group that's been around, gosh, since 90s, called Arrested Development. And oh my gosh, I feel like an idiot because for some reason I didn't know that they had a whole new album out this year. So they released like a music video and everything recently, and here it is. I'm not gonna play it because you know stuff happens when you play stuff. They take your videos down. But there is a song called Pack It Out. From Arrested Development, Configure, Speech, Tasha LaRae. It is Configure, Speech, B Taylor, One Love, Tasha LaRae. So there's 2 more people there. Pack It Out. You have to listen to it. I highly recommend it. It's a feel good. This is a movement, getting together. They're talking about packing out a place because everybody wants to come to the whatever it is. It could be a backyard barbecue. It could come to a music festival. It's like you're packing the place, and it's just such a great hook and a great feeling song. So that's what I have. Sarah? Oh, she's not here. So I think Sarah's probably going to talk about Trevor Noah again, and she's probably going to talk about, I don't know, Ed Sheeran, probably. She's probably going to talk about Shag, Married, and Annoyed. What else? What else does she listen to religiously and ridiculously? That's about it. Is that just for you?
Annoyed. No?
Oh, can I have some of that food?
Yeah, we're just gonna share it.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish my bite and then I'll go on the podcast.
Well, you're already on it. Like they can hear you.
But they can see my face chewing.
They
No,
can now. Can't have buttons, baby.
All right, so.
Oh, this is a good Tavala. I had this.
It is Shag, Married, Annoyed. So.
I told you. There's only like 3 things.
They just got a YouTube. How come you don't have to show your face eating? I don't like that. Anyways, so they just got their own YouTube, so now they're live. Woo! Not live. It's just recorded.
They have videos on it now?
Yes.
I should have been watching them.
I know. Anyways, that's number 1. Number 2.
When you go back to work, I'll probably do that.
Okay. There's a show called Girls Bathroom, also British. And
I've heard an episode.
So I'm too old to be listening to the show, but it's almost like watching reality TV. Like when you're at the point you're like, I probably shouldn't be watching the Teenage Mom show. I've never watched it. I assume that's like a young person show. But they're talking about like problems from like your 20s and people writing in. So a girl wrote in about how her boyfriend, they've been together for like 4 years, and he will not take pictures of her while she's on vacation. Like, well, at all. He won't take pictures of her at all. She'll ask you like, hey, I think it's a really cute spot. We mind taking a picture of me.
Hold on. They're dating?
Yeah.
No, do they live together?
Yes.
He's cheating.
So let me finish the story.
Oh, I'm just saying.
So they'll go on vacation together. And she's like, and her thing, the girl was like, she wrote in and she's like, he's very nice. He takes care of me. We're like best friends. We do all this stuff together, blah, blah. And she's like, but when we go places, it's not even that he won't take pictures of like her on his phone. He won't even like use her phone to take pictures of her.
I mean,
he doesn't even want to be in the picture with her. She's like, well, this is a really pretty like view. Can you just take a picture of me using my phone? And he's like, no, I don't want to. And so the first thing they said was, he hates you.
No, he likes something about you, but not you.
They're like,
There's something he likes something about your life.
yeah.
But he doesn't like you.
They're like, literally, he doesn't like you. And to me, it's like asking, can you get up in the morning and make my iced coffee? And him being like, no, I don't want to. It's not worth my time. Like, he doesn't understand why she needs pictures for social media. He doesn't understand why she has social media. He doesn't understand any of it. And they're like,
you don't have to understand
he hates
it.
you. Because literally, it's just doing something, like asked him to do something that was nice, and he said no.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things also. It's like, you're already there.
Yes.
Now, I understand, get up in the morning, make me iced coffee. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not.
If you're already up.
But that's literally what I'm saying. But if you're up and your partner says, hey, can you make me an iced coffee? And they're like upstairs, or you're downstairs. It's like, yeah, love to.
Yeah.
What do you want in it?
Yeah. If they say no, make it yourself. Then you're like,
that's
why
insane.
am I here?
No, but that's insane.
Yeah.
To me, that's insane.
That's what they were trying to say.
Acts of service is what a relation, like a partnership is.
Yeah.
Like even in business, it's a partner that if you're a partner with somebody in business, that's what you do is like, hey, I can't get to this.
Yes.
This will make my life more convenient. You're already there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's life partners in general.
Yes.
That's insane.
Uh-huh.
But also, it's like he's not with you.
Yeah.
He's either with somebody else or he's not with anybody and just doesn't like people.
Right.
Including you.
Yes, including you. Anyways, that's my other guilty pleasure. They can be a lot because they do this thing where they'll talk over each other.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, but they do it a lot to the point where you're like, I don't even know what the other person was saying and then one of them has their voice is just like really distinct and it like cuts through the other one's voice. And I'm like, it's a lot of talking. Sometimes I can only listen like half a show at a time. And I'm like, I need a break.
They've been around for a while?
Yeah.
Oh, then somebody likes it.
Oh yeah. They've even done, they're like S&G, like they've gone on tour. They did their Australia tour same time as S&G was doing theirs. Like almost the same, exact same whole month of February.
But it's also that I think that's a generation. I mean, they got to be under 30 then.
Yes.
But
like
that is a
28.
generation thing. Like, our son in his room is in a group conversation where nobody can hear what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
They're just all talking or typing on a keyboard or doing something. It was like, there's no actual conversation. It's just noise.
Yes. Lots of
you know?
noise.
So it's like, I think that's a kind of a thing. And I was like, Mariah's like that too.
Yeah.
She has it's just on. Like, you're not with that person. Like, have them come over or, what are we doing? Oh, we doing another shot? Is that what's happening?
I am. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh.
I don't have a seltzer.
You could. Okay.
They're so icky.
All right.
I
But
saw
my
the-
entertainment was Arrested Development.
You start watching it?
Show.
Oh.
We talked about it. The group.
Yeah. we
From-
did. I'm sorry, it was a show.
It was a show. Yeah. But there was also a group before the show. And that collaboration is really, really good. I really enjoyed that. So, I mean, I don't know about anything visually.
Yeah. We have some movies and shows.
Yeah, I'm not
to
watching.
watch.
Yeah, but I haven't really been watching anything but honestly, like comedy podcasts.
Yeah.
It's been kind of my thing. I was like, I wish I liked certain comedians better. Because a lot of people seem to like them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people.
I feel about Tom Segura.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. There's certain like, I wish I was more into their comedy. I'm just not. I like the pull of the guests that Bert Kreischer has, but Bert Kreischer is just not my.
Cup of tea.
Sometimes he's funny and sometimes he feeds off of other people, but I was just like, it's just not. I don't know. It's just not my style of. I like some of it, just not a lot of it.
Mhm.
You know, I just wish. Do you know who I wish would have a podcast? It would be Fortune Feimster. Oh,
Doesn't
she does? Oh, it's with two other ladies though.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, I want her because her banter's so good and her laugh is so good. right? Her laugh and her banter is so there's no ill will in her banter.
Yeah.
I mean, she still does the digs and makes fun of people and stuff like that, but it never feels mean. It feels funny.
Yeah.
And it feels, so it was like, I would rather just, because I watched one episode of whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But it's her and two other people. And I was like, what's her name? She was on, I know both the comedians, one way more than the other. But Tiggs? I think it's Tiggs. It's just not, I was like, I don't want to hear you guys. I want to hear Fortune. I was like, you guys are fine. You guys are funny. But I was like, you're just not. I just feel like if you don't have two people that go back and forth, I was like, even like Two Bears, One Cave with his Bert and Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. It's okay. I like it.
Yeah.
But I was like, but when it comes to Your Mom's House is where I really like it.
Yeah.
The Christina Pajitsky and Tom Segura. They've been doing it for 15 years. And the dynamic is still there. And it's just so funny. They feed off of each other.
I can't get into.
They roll into each other's jokes.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know why. I don't know. I like it.
All right, let's give some advice, homie.
What are you doing?
Advise me not.
Oh.
Let's shoot.
All right. What's the subject?
I have no idea.
The title of this episode is called Your Own Cup.
Your. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E?
You are own cup. You are own cup. No.
Your. Oh, you poured a big one.
Don't spill. Well, it's hard to pour while I'm talking. Oh. I didn't enjoy that.
Why'd you drink it then?
Your own cup. That's all you.
But you didn't tell me what it was about.
It's literally off of the cup being full, cup being empty, and you flip a cup.
Okay. I mean, so there's a phrase I used to say to Scooter all the time, and I just did to the kids. Huh? Hey, let me finish my story. That turn that cup upside down is what I used to say. Because it was a combination of, to not smile upside down and half their cup half empty, half full. But it's one of those things of you just need to realize that everything's going to be okay. Even when life is crap, even when you're upset, you just turn that cup upside down. You know what I mean? You just flip that cup and everything's going to be fine. And Scooter for the longest time was like, that doesn't make any sense because when I flip the cup upside down, now everything out of the cup is gone and it's empty. And I was like, and then he's like, or is it full of air? And I said, I think you're feeling what I'm saying now. You got to really flip that cup upside down. And so now he's like, get it. It does make sense.
I mean, all right. It does make sense because it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
And I think that was the whole thought process is there's more options than just a cup half full or a cup half empty.
Yeah.
There's just more options. What's in the cup? What'd you fill it with? How big is the cup? I mean, get a different cup.
Right.
I mean, it was kind of and I think that's where she kind of came from, and I didn't get it because it was like, if your cup is half empty, get a smaller cup and it's going to be full.
Right.
And also, if you're filling it with dirty, grimy, whatever, well, it doesn't matter if it's full. If it's half full, it's still full of crap.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I feel like it was look at it from a different point of view or a different angle. Look at it a little differently. And I'm big on that. I'm big on like, hey, let's pull ourselves out of the situation. What's really going on here?
Yeah.
So that was the premise there. So how do we talk about that?
So how's your cup?
My cup is full of ice right now, which is fine because I'm feeling frigid. No, no. My cup is decently full. Not full, but I think it's been kind of has about half of the stuff in it, but some of it's not good. But I have a really big cup.
Yeah.
I know I have a very large cup. I think that's my problem.
I always feel like I have multiple cups, and some of them get full and some of them are a little emptier, and then I have to figure out where can I add a little to each cup to like even out my life.
Oh,
That's what I
we're not
feel like.
talking about finances. What are we doing here?
Finances.
That sounds like finances.
No, it doesn't.
So
Life.
yeah, how's our cup? But the cup analogy, I just feel like we don't know. You never know where the other person's coming from. So when you talk about the cup half empty, cup half full, it's that I think that's why I mentioned the earlier excuses or reason,
Yeah.
right? What is not the excuse for why your cup is where it's at? Stop looking at the cup going, I need more.
Mm-hmm.
I need more. I need more.
Yeah.
That's your excuse.
Yeah.
And your reason is like, hey, man, a lot going on, but I got this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dirty glass of water, but it's a glass of water.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's also, to me, it's like taking a step back and being like, do I even want any more in this cup?
I know. So let's talk about this. Let's stop talking about the cup because I feel like we're doing this like, what are they like these motivational speakers?
Right.
Right? I was
They're
like,
motivating.
so the cup, right?
The cup represents
The cup.
your life.
Your life is the cup. And if you
Your
fill the
kids,
cup
the cup.
to the fullest and it overflows, you need to have more cups for other people. You see what I'm saying? Like
No.
other people need to be around to get the overflow of your full cup.
Oh, well, stop saying cup. What do you want to say instead?
Let's talk about real life then. I mean, because it has to do with your fulfillment of your, let's just say your career. You want to be badass at whatever you're doing in life. You want to be a badass. I mean, I'm just my perspective. You want to be a badass dad. You want to be a cool dad, but you also want to be an efficient dad, and you want to be somebody that influences your kids to do great things.
Yeah.
Even if they decide they're going to do great things according to them.
Right.
Right. That's what you want. So let's look at it that way. Maybe we'd look at it into parenting, grandparenting, work, business, however we want to look at it. But yeah, that's where I think we all want to have enough resources in our system to where we give that knowledge and give that our type of wisdom to our kids and to our family and those types and it's hard because it's they might not, their resources might be in a different place. So we can relate it back to the cup. Is like, that's not what they're putting in their cup.
Yeah.
But you're putting stuff in my cup. You're putting information in me that I've never held that information before. So it makes no sense to me and it's stupid.
Right.
And vice versa, right? It was like, we have to look at that. I was like, so I think when it comes to those, we're trying, I think as parents, if you're a give a crap parent, you're trying to give your kids and your spouse and everything the best that you can. Sometimes you can't because somebody knocked over your whole world.
Yeah.
It's like, think about the cup. It's like the cup was pretty full and then somebody came and just knocked it over the table and splashed it everywhere. It's like, so all your resources are gone.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of one of those things, like looking at it from a different perspective when it comes to having relationships with, let's not talk business, but it was like we can if you want, but when it comes to resources, like my siblings, do you have enough resources? Is it exhausting you to have a conversation with your siblings?
Yeah.
Well, if it is, then maybe you just need to fill yourself up a little bit more and move forward. Same with your kids. It's like, hey, if you're the one that's getting frustrated and not being able to express yourself with the other person, like your kid or your spouse, then maybe that's on you.
Yeah.
So
I always think it's always a moment to step back, especially when, no matter what the situation is, whether it's work, life, kids, whatever, when you're at the point where you're just like, you're so frustrated with whatever it is. You're just like, man, I'm just so annoyed. Those are the moments where I literally take a step back and I think, well, why? Like, why am I annoyed with them now? Is it because there's too much going on somewhere else? And right now, this is the easiest way to take out my frustration because they're here?
Right.
Or is it because they truly are the source of the frustration and I need to figure that out? But I think sometimes the hard part of hard, easy part is literally taking a step back and just saying, have I taken any breaths today? Have I breathed today? And not just like the functional, like I'm sitting here, I have to breathe. But have you actually like stopped and just didn't do anything for like 30 seconds to just like refocus yourself and kind of pick your cup back up and see what's going on with it?
Well, it's also, yeah. But also it's like, I feel like it's such a drain of energy. Big cup, whatever. Such a drain of energy, especially for me, and I think it's for most people, if that focal point of frustration is what like dictates your actions. Right? Like, or is all you can think about.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, move on. Like,
and can you? Because
yeah,
for some people, that's really hard.
Yeah, it's super hard. And I think it's super hard. I think it's super hard. Even grown adults, it's hard, but it's really hard when you're younger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because your world's so small.
Yeah.
Your world is so small. And you only have like 2 or 3 things going on realistically. But you think there's so much going on, but there's like 3 things.
Yeah.
Right? So if one of those things is frustrating, that's a lot.
It's a third of your whole existence.
That's a big deal. But as an adult, or a responsible adult, or somebody that's functioning in the world, is like, we have like 300 things going on.
Yeah.
So if one thing takes our focal point, you're kind of like, all right, I'm going to move on from that because I got 299 things that I'm going to go and move on to. So I think there's a quicker, it depends on how much it affects in your life, for sure.
Yeah.
And how much,
and where your perspective is. Because there are some days where that one gnat that is in your house is where all of your frustration and hatred comes from.
True.
And you're like, it's a gnat. Why am I allowing this gnat to piss me off this much?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a good space, you're like, it's just a gnat. I gotta let it go.
Annoying.
But if you're really in not a good space, which I feel like that's a good telltale sign that you're not in a good space, when you want to burn your house down because there's one gnat in there, you're like, you should probably take a step back and think, you good.
Yeah, because there's sometimes, like when I went out and got the mail today, gave me quite the fright. The loudest crow in the world, I feel like, was so quiet. I didn't know it was there. But as soon as I opened up the mailbox, it was right above me and goes, rah, rah. And I was like, am I dying? Like, what is happening? I was like, have I just entered hell? Yeah, I was like, have I just entered hell somewhere? Like, it was so loud because there was no noise going on.
Right.
And it was it. But there have been other times when I'd have been like pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, why now?
Right.
Like, I've got so much to do and then this, and I'm frustrated. But I was like, man, that was loud.
Yeah.
I did scream out, I think, MF or something like that. But I didn't scream it out, but I was like, whoa, yeah, MF.
Yeah.
And I was like, But it didn't like. I just felt like it was funny afterwards. At the beginning, I was like, "Why is that so loud and in my face?" Because the tree branch is like right, probably less than 10 feet above my head, and those things are so loud.
They're so loud.
But it was so quiet out there. Like there was nothing going on. There was no construction at the time.
Yeah.
There was no anything. And but yeah, there had been other moments where it was like if everything else is kind of piling up.
Yes.
But it was like I also look at it as like we have much bigger things going on.
Yes.
So I was like, who cares?
But I think that's kind of part of like the growth and understanding of when you realize there are bigger things going on. And then when the bigger things happen, you realize there are still bigger things going on than just this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part. And it's not a perfect science because there are definitely days where someone asks something of me and I'm thinking, screw you. Like, I don't want to do that. Why are you asking me this when you know you could have taken care of it? Like, there are definitely those days. And some days I'm really good about thinking, why are you so annoyed? And I know in TV shows, chicks would be like, if someone ever said, well, maybe it's because it's close to that time of the month, chicks would be like, how dare you? But literally,
That's
my
science.
whoop is like, my whoop will tell me, hey, you're in this phase. You should not make any decisions right now. And tell people around you to not ask you questions. Like it literally will tell you that. And I'm thinking, yes, because there are certain times where I'm thinking, don't ask me a flipping question. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I tried to be better. But there are days where I'm like, tell me to go to the grocery store one more time because you didn't go today.
I know.
So like next week, if you're like, hey, do you want to stop at the grocery store? And be like, ask me to go to the grocery store one more time.
I was like, or ask me a question while I'm on the phone one more time.
One more time.
And I'm like, I haven't at all. And,
Right.
But I was like, there's been some moments I was like, you've been on this phone call for 2 hours.
Yes.
Right. So I was like, hey, I need an answer real quick. And it was, why the F are you talking to me right now?
Yes.
And I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
I was like,
And some days, and there are certain days where I can talk myself off the ledge where I'm like, well, back to your cup. What's your cup? Literally, what is wrong with you? You're fine. There's nothing wrong. And other days where it's so hard to get myself off the ledge where I'm just like, no, I'm not coming down.
but I think that
I'm
comes
pissed
with,
off and annoyed. It's not coming back.
but I think that comes with maturity and experience more than anything. Like if you haven't experienced anything, if you haven't experienced anything or experienced life, you're just like, everything's so traumatic.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, it's a flat tire, bro.
Right.
It's a flat tire.
Yeah.
If you haven't experienced a flat tire in your life and I might be able to get it.
Yeah.
But it's a flat tire.
So sad. But yeah.
No, it
literally,
sucks, but it's like, but
"God,
you're
this
like,
sucks." But what else am I?
yeah,
I mean, I'm
this is
here.
what we do.
We're here. Someone's going to come hopefully fix my tire. Well, I'm going to sit here.
This is what we do.
Yeah. But
Like-
yeah, in your 20s, in my 20s, if I had a flat tire, I called my mom and I cried and I'm like, Mom, my tire's flat. And she's like, what are you going to do? I don't know.
It's insane.
What am I supposed to do? No one told me.
I just changed the tire. I was like,
I didn't. I called somebody.
and then rode around
Because
on
that's
it.
what we were taught.
But I rode around on it for like 6 months because I couldn't afford another tire.
That's crazy.
That's all I had.
Yeah.
It was a Honda Accord, and it was like had the spare on it, and I just didn't go on the freeways for a while.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
had a kid,
yeah.
so I was like,
I know.
I what can you do?
The eyelash on my eye, it's killing me.
You know, getting formula and
Yeah.
diapers was
Way
way
more
more important
important.
than a
Yep.
friggin' tire.
I know.
So, and I mean, we lived in such a small town, I could just walk to the store.
Yeah.
I mean, so hey, we figured it out. There was no Instacart.
Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't afford it. Hard back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like there's so many traumatic moments that we go through, and they're like,
Yes.
is it, or are you just empty?
Yeah.
Or have you just? And I think like when it comes to being empty, you could be empty of knowledge too.
Yeah. And experience.
You don't know how not big of a deal that is.
Yes.
Getting locked out of your house. It's just a thing.
Yeah. It sucks.
It's a thing, and it's happened. It happens.
Yeah. That's why locksmiths exist.
Well, not just locksmiths. The first thing you do is like check your windows.
Yeah.
No, it's like, did you leave something unlocked? The first thing you do.
Yeah.
The first thing. Like maybe I can crawl in a window.
Right.
If not, Then we move on as like, anybody else that I know have a key to my house?
Yeah, that part. Anybody.
And then you go, okay, final step.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a locksmith, right?
Throw a brick through the window. Just kidding.
I mean, you could. There might be some times in your
Probably
life.
more expensive than getting a locksmith.
Depends. Depends on where you are in life and where you're living.
Yeah, that's
some
very
of
true.
those places are.
That's very
It
true.
could be a very old house, and it could cost you like $25
True.
to put a little piece
Just
of
a little
glass
pane
in there.
in there.
Yeah, or just put a piece of wood in there.
Yeah, that part.
No, I'm seriously like that might be a thing
I know.
because I've done that with cars, So there's always a solution to the thing, but we make it so grandiose.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it comes to. That's what I feel like when somebody's grown up. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Right. It's the basic responsibilities of a human being, but sometimes we don't see it that way.
But it's
And
also
how
nice.
where your cup is.
Yeah, it's also nice too when you have people around you to be that balance of
That's
like
true.
you're freaking out and they're not saying it's not that big a deal. They're just like, remember that time when this happened in your life? You're like, yeah. They're like, it's gonna be okay. Like literally, it's gonna be fine. And you're like, yeah, because I remember that time that this happened. Like, yeah, I remember that. And, okay, never mind.
Yeah, this is not that big a deal.
You're right. Yeah, let me talk myself down. It's fine.
Or yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I think that's the whatever's person we talk about this the title episodes your own cup.
Yeah.
Your own cup is your own cup.
Yeah.
So nobody can fill your cup up for you.
No.
I think that's the thing. I was like, nobody can do that for you.
Yeah.
You can only fill your energy up with good stuff. You're the only person that does. Nobody else can do that for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we talk about people can't really motivate you. You can get motivated by another person.
Yes.
True. But I feel like people can't motivate you. They can give you incentives.
Yes.
They can do all that kind of thing. But that's not motivation. That's incentives.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're responsible for your own cup.
Yep.
And what you're filling it with, your energy levels, what you're going to react to somebody. It was like if you're not eating well,
yep,
you're going to react differently to people. If you're not sleeping well, you're not going to react very well to other people.
Yeah.
If you're frustrated about if your focal point on something in life is so focused, hyper focused on one bad thing,
yeah,
it's going to be so bad for
yes.
everybody else
yes.
around. And if you're hyper focused on something that's super good for you, it's going to be the same problem.
Yeah. Because one thing that gets in the way of that hyper focused joy is now going to crush it.
That person gets in the way.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm doing this. It's like, well, I need to. It's like, I don't care.
Right.
I'm doing this.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's one of those. It's your own cup, man. So nobody else can do it for you. It's on you.
It's true.
It's on you, Sarah.
Oh.
It's on you.
Some weeks I'm really good at it, and other weeks I'm terrible.
Same.
Like my exercise thing right now, I'm just like, I read my Post-it note, and I'm like, it's up to me to do something different, and here I am doing the same friggin' thing, and I feel the way about a lot of things in life. I'm just like, Sarah, you can do better. And other times I'm like, Sarah, you're doing great. Like today, you're doing great. There was a video that popped up on my phone because my phone likes to, not like Facebook, but like my actual photo album will like to pop up, and so on it makes videos.
Yeah, but mine's connected to some Google account, and I was like, I can't access it.
Oh, weird.
So it goes, remember this memory from 11 years ago? And I was like, cool. Nope, can't get into it.
Oh, weird.
I don't know. I must have signed into something.
So mine was on the 8th of July in 2022 is when we did the butterfly release for Mom. That's what popped up on my thing today, or on the 8th. And so I'm watching it, and I'm watching all the videos, and I'm laughing because it was freaking hilarious. And it's one of those moments where I stop back and I think, you're doing pretty good, Sarah. You're doing okay. This hasn't brought you completely down to tears, and you're still...
And it's taken some people down to their knees.
I know. And I'm like, and you can watch this and laugh with your siblings and laugh with your nieces and nephews, and it's gonna be okay. Now I remember the aftermath, like the day after day after I fell and jacked in my face. But I was like, you have to remind yourself of also the times when it's gonna be okay. And even if your cup doesn't feel full, to remind yourself, it might be 3/4 empty, but it's also 3/4 full of air. So I mean, that's also good.
Full of something.
Full of something.
It's full of whatever you want to put in it.
Yeah.
Your energy level is full of whatever you want to put into it, man.
Yeah.
So if you want to fill it with bad knowledge,
Bad energy, it's
frustration,
up to you.
no, just even get specific. Like, you want to fill it with obsessed because somebody said something.
Right.
If you want to fill it with my feelings are hurt because somebody didn't do something, or somebody said something, or somebody did something. I was like, well, that's you're putting that in the cup.
Yep.
It's not that person didn't put it in the cup. You are.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a revelation when you get to the point where forgiving a person is not about them.
Nope.
It's about you.
Yeah.
So if you hold on to something and are waiting for somebody to ask for your forgiveness, that's your problem.
Yeah.
You've lost.
Yeah.
You've lost.
Or waiting for someone to say they're sorry.
You've lost. You've lost.
Yeah.
You've totally lost. That has become your problem.
Yep.
So it's like forgiving somebody and moving forward. That's what you need to do. When you forgive somebody, it's got nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
It has to do with you. And you don't have to go up to a person and say, I forgive you.
No.
That's sometimes going to be very pompous.
Yes.
Right? It was like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just forgive and move forward.
Let's just be better.
Move on. Go to therapy.
Yep.
Take a hot bath. I don't know. Whatever you do, take a swim, take a run.
Yep.
Go to a concert. I'm just saying, whatever it is for you that fills up your cup.
Yeah.
Whatever fills up your cup with positive whatever energy, juju, water.
Yeah.
Go find that thing, man.
Can I say something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I won't say it anyways? So,
yeah.
It's more of a shout out. Shout out to San Luis Obispo. So Mariah was looking for like someone to talk to, like a therapist type thing, because she was doing when school started, and then school ended, and now there's like it's hard.
Do you want you to talk about this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, she said she's doing okay, but her thing was, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the cost of therapy. I think everyone should do therapy. I just think that's part of life.
And I think you should. Everybody should talk to somebody, even if it's not, how do I say, even if it's not something that costs you money, you should be talking to somebody that's qualified.
Yes.
I mean, if it's not costing you money, it still is therapy.
Right.
If it's a qualified person that has more resources in that field than you.
Yes.
That's apprenticeships. That's in the,
yes.
So if you are talking to somebody that knows way more about mental health than you do, that's therapy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you don't talk to, a florist about
concrete,
rebuilding an engine on your car. It's just,
let me finish my story.
Sorry.
So I was telling her, I was like, well, because of being a student, and I was thinking you could also find like a sliding scale place. So that way, because like for ours, when we did the therapy, it was $160 a session. Mm-hmm. So when you're a kid in college, that's a psychotic amount.
That's insane.
That's like food for 3 weeks.
Yeah, hours at $160 for 50 minutes.
Yeah. And so I was telling her, so I sent her some links, and I found some places, which was fantastic and which I was very excited about. But they're like, if you're in college, it's like $30 per session, and you still get like 50 minutes. And I was like, that's so, I was
that's
just
like
so
one
excited.
Trip to Dutch Bros.
I know. I was so excited, and I was like, here's some links. I hope you find one that's, that's you need.
That's rad.
I know, but I was like, oh, I'm just so excited. I don't know. Because sometimes it can be, especially like in Sacramento, so I've looked for sliding scales. The wait list is like a year. And then even their sliding scale, it's still like $100 for a 50-minute session. So I'm like, I get what you're saying, but if I'm already stressed about life, if I can afford $100 to $150 a session, I'm
probably not
looking for a sliding scale.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not thinking about therapy.
Right. Or if I am, I'm not.
My bills are paid, and I have time to deal with my emotions.
Yeah.
I'm not working 3 jobs.
So I was excited about that, but also it's one of those things of like, if you're in an area and you're like, I want to talk to somebody, but I don't know if I can afford it, look for people who take sliding scale.
Yeah.
And there was one that I think works like all over. It's called I think it's called Pathways. But they have like a whole network of people where you can put in your zip code and they're like, here's all the people who are taking sliding scale payments. And I'm like, oh,
So rad.
because it confuses me why it's so expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong. People should be worth their time. But also, it can't be so expensive to where the people who need it can't even afford it. And that's
True.
part that's
And
crazy
it's
to me.
also like and that's a hard one. That's a hard one for me because it's like you want to pay the person, you want them to be qualified.
Right.
And if you're a qualified person, they've earned
Yes.
the right to charge that amount
Right.
of money.
Yes.
Right. Especially if you're going through a service.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're paying $175 an hour. Well, that therapist is not getting $175 an hour.
Yeah.
That's not how business works. It's just not.
Yeah.
A percentage or a cut goes somewhere else. So it's like, how much is that person actually making?
Right.
We don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean, everybody needs to be paid what they're worth. That's for sure. But yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was excited about
I didn't
that.
even
and
know
was
about
like,
that.
it's like, yay,
I mean, knew about sliding scale, but
$30.
I didn't know it was in therapy. I didn't know therapy had that.
That's what I was looking for last time. But again, the wait list was so long. I was like, at that point, it's too late.
Yeah.
After, I mean, a year on a wait list, we're too late at that point. Things
Yeah.
have happened. And
Huge advocate. Like,
yeah,
if you're not talking to somebody,
talk to somebody.
you don't even know what your cup looks like.
That part. You don't even know.
You don't even know if you're not talking to somebody on a decently regular basis about just stuff, how you're feeling, the
Yeah.
things that are going on, those types of things. You don't even know what your own cup looks like.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'll tell you a funny story.
nailed it.
So I was out on an audit, and this guy was saying him and his wife went to Vegas to go just like hang out, and his sister lives there. So his sister works for the federal government, but she's been able to work at home. And they just said that he had to go back to work, and she's all upset
Right.
about it. So they go to have lunch, and she shows up, and he's like, you know how brothers are with their sisters. I was like, did you see yourself before you left your house today? When was the last time you combed your hair? He's like, she looked like a wreck. And I was like, when's the last time you saw people? Because you look awful. It's like, dang, homie. He's like, no. She got so sheltered. She started Instacarting all her food.
Yeah.
If they wanted something, it was delivered. She wouldn't leave. She has like a 13-year-old. And he's like, you need to take your child somewhere. You can't just be hanging out in your house all the time. I was like, that's funny. I mean, it's sad, but it's true.
It's so true. It's like if you have kids, just in general, it's so, especially during like the times when they're on vacation or like on break or stuff, it's
Mhm.
like, take a shower.
Yeah.
Get out of your room.
Yeah.
There's things starting to
Things
fester.
are growing in there.
Yes, it's gross and you're not realizing it because it's that, what is the frog in the, they talking about
In
the
the
frog?
weeds?
No, the frog in the bowl of water.
Oh, yeah.
You just start cranking up that, and
Mhm.
next thing you know, they just boil to death.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same concept. It was like you are living in filth
Yeah.
and you don't even know it because
You haven't left yet.
you've slowly progressed
Yep.
into this stinky,
Yeah.
gross. You haven't bathed. I mean, if you haven't bathed in 3 or 4 days, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't done your laundry in like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Most people don't have 14 pairs of underwear, so it's probably a
No,
big
it's just like
problem.
you're re-wearing
Yeah.
things at
Yeah.
that point. So it's like but you don't realize it's happening.
Yep.
Because you don't have somebody to talk to. And take that to that other extreme, to your mental health.
Yeah.
You don't know how bad your mental health is.
Yep.
Because you're not talking to anybody about it.
Yeah.
Once you start talking to people about it, you go, hey, I'm not doing okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I needed to talk to somebody. I need to talk to my buddies about something serious.
Yeah.
I need to go, man, I'm frustrated. Man, I'm on the verge of crying. Maybe I should cry.
Right.
Maybe I should, I was like, this did hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Instead, you suck it up and you don't talk to anybody about
Yeah.
it. And then, yeah. So, I mean, think about it the same way. It was like, if you're a hoarder,
Ugh.
you could be a hoarder of feelings
Yes.
or emotions. So what's your cup look like?
I know.
Is it full of anger and urine? I just went from
Deodorant?
went from mental health to
Hoarding.
to the gross, Is it full of rotten food and,
Yeah.
is it full of rotten food and
Tears.
sexual tension?
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's
okay.
good.
All right.
I
That's
like
just something.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's get here.
Okay, Sarah wants to quit. All right. That's gonna be our advice me not. So take a look at your own cup,
Yeah.
people. What are you filling it with? And
Ice
nobody else can take stuff out of your cup or put stuff in your cup. That's on you.
Very true.
Your gas tank is on you. Nobody else's.
Mine's like 50% right now.
Mine's about 30, but it's full of decent stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where I'm at. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm just running on 30% all the time. But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I have to say, most of my relationships, I mean, perspective-wise, when it comes to throughout history, I'm on the winning end of how all my relationships are going.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm on the winning side. There's a few of them that are not so great. But out of 100 and some whatever relationships I have, there's only a few that are not going that great.
Yeah.
The rest of them are going actually quite well. Like open communication. If we're frustrated with each other, we talk about it. If we're, I can text that person, they respond,
Yeah.
I could call that person, they'd pick up. That's about 90 some percent of whatever 100 people in my life. So from that perspective, I'm doing quite well.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I wouldn't say that. Just wouldn't say that. I'd probably be about 50% of that,
Yeah.
But what about you? Where are you at on that?
I don't know. 50% good right now. I feel like the relationships I do have are going
Like your
well.
relationships, like
Yeah.
your actual friends,
Yeah.
family.
I mean, in that aspect, I think I'm like 95.
Yeah.
I feel like everything's going pretty good.
Yeah, yours is an uptick.
Yeah.
It really is. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't there 6 months ago.
You think?
Yeah, for sure.
Months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
There's certain people they just wouldn't respond, wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's an uptick for some reason right now in your.
People are coming back. It's the heat.
Well, just kind of like they're they're responding.
Yeah.
And they're going, hey, this person's not out to get me or judge me. They just want to be part of my life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm on an uptick too, but I was just like, there's just a few out there I think that's common. Everything, you're gonna have a disconnect. If you don't have if you think that you're at 100%, you're delusional.
Yeah, that's fair.
Delusional.
Yeah.
That means you think everybody loves you. If you think that, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
If you think you're doing everything correctly with your relationships, you're an idiot. If you're doing everything right and other people are wrong, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're a effing loser.
Stupid.
You're a loser.
Loser. All right, I gotta take a look.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. We're good. Okay. Thanks, guys. We will see you. We're back next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna try these Thursdays. See what
I'll be
happens.
here.
See how many people
Pretty
actually
sure.
tune in. But love you guys. Show up in real life. And until next week. What do we want to tell them?
Open my life.
Festival Fit. Oh yeah. Before we go, leaderboard is who?
Ariel, number 1.
Ariel is at number 1.
Number 2?
This is the Festival Fit. And number 2 is Sarah.
Crazy.
Which again, there's only an 8-point difference out of 252 points possible. Next week, what's 252 times 2? 504.
Yep.
So by the end of Saturday? Friday. Yeah. Right? whatever it is. I sent you all the dates. Whoever is part of it, you have the dates. By the end of the second week, there'll be 504 points available. So there's tons of points, and there's only an 8-point gap between first and second. And there's only a 34-point gap between first and last place.
Yep.
So, and we're only calling out the people that are on the top. We are not here about shaming people that are not doing as well as others, which one of them is me.
No stretching, man.
It's the no stretching, no water.
Yeah.
Getting zeros across those two boards
That's
is like
rough.
it's insane. And that's why I divvied them up the way I did, because they're not all just exercise.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, you can drink more water.
Mm-hmm.
So love you guys. Hope you guys go out and do some stuff with this new fitness that you have because of the festivals coming out. Love you guys. Show up in real life. We will see you all very soon.
And I loved it.